I mean, we could see what we see when it comes to that. So yeah, I guess we're live. So what's up, people? Uh Charles, I am Brandon Madison, Danielle, Denies Your Carol. We're here. And next Legacy Live is gonna be one where we're just gonna talk about a couple of different things, and anybody that has any conversation they could definitely use the chat room, which we have. I see it, it's active. We're going live on the phone, but also I have it on my desktop, so we're good there. So anybody that has something going on, it's there's like a 60-second delay, so I'll worry about that when it gets to where I need to get it to. So we're here. Denia's here. We're here to talk about a couple things, as I mentioned. Hit the notification button and subscribe to both Next Legacy and Deny Azure. Make sure you do that now and often, and tell somebody, tell a friend or enemy or whoever. I mean, nowadays we don't even know who's who, but it is what it is. But and also this platform here is brought to you by Max. Make sure you go ahead and hit the link inside our notifications as well. Free trial if you want to use Max. Subscribe, get all the good movies, content, all the stuff that Max provides. So make sure y'all go ahead and tap in and be a part of all things good things. So I mean, we're here. Deny and I, we always talk and we always have some stuff to say regarding a couple of conversations where I feel like it would be important for us to discuss. So we're going to start with Sean Combs because I just kind of feel we need to go there. So Sean Combs, clearly everybody knows he's guilty of, a couple things, prostitution, but he was, found innocent on, 3 other charges, RICO, and others. And I just want the world to not just know our opinions about it, but I just want people to just get an honest assessment on what they feel, how they feel about it. And I'll go first because I just feel like at the end of the day, like we all should um remember, I'm one of these dudes where, I don't want to see anybody innocent going to jail, clearly, like I'm not even going to put race into it, but let's do it. I don't want to see any innocent black man or woman or child to go to jail and do time that they didn't do or whatnot. Like, to me, I think it's important. I also feel like it's important to just really speak the truth as far as how you feel with his case. I mean, and I see it through everybody's partying, celebrating that, all the stuff that he had going on. Like he wasn't found guilty on RICO and the other charges that would have put that man behind bars for life. Um, I really and truly feel like where there's smoke, there's fire. Maybe this time the prosecution uh couldn't prove it. Maybe just maybe that things that went on, uh, we don't know. It could have been more. I just feel like the prosecution didn't really present a case that was worthy of it at the end of the day. So maybe that's why some of those things happened. But I'm gonna say this, and for all the people out there who are rooting and cheering that this man is innocent, and the government was out to get him, blah 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 blah. I mean, bottom line is that man did some horrific things, not just to women, but to just people in general, and he needs to be held accountable. What that looks like, clearly it wasn't up to the well, it was up to the jury, and the jury, whatever it is that they say, one of the jurors was on CNN, one of the alternate jurors, basically he said that prosecution didn't prove their case. It was very weak. um it's fine. I mean, I still feel like he should be under the jail for the type of shit that he did to women, period. Like, if my daughter was Cassie, and if Cassie went through the shit like that, and that was my child, and you have to really look at it into a perspective of, was she a willing participant in some? Who the fuck knows? Who knows? I just think at the end of the day, you got to look at it from a perspective of, like, I think anybody that was in those videos, or some of the stuff that we described, or the biggest one where it was public, where He being Sean Combs was physical with her and committed that type of abuse. Um, should be thrown under the jail. And again, that was 2016. He didn't really come out and apologize until 2024, 2023, 2024 when that tape came out. So he held on to that. He paid somebody out to do it. Like, anybody that has that kind of mentality in regards to shit like that, I mean, that man should be honestly thrown under the jail, in my opinion. But I can go on and on, but just tap in with what you feel, because I just feel like he's whatever time that he's gonna wind up getting is still not gonna be enough in my opinion. But that's just me.
The whole thing about this situation is the fact of he got guilty. He's guilty for prostitution. He's guilty of a whole lot more that he didn't even get charged with. And I feel like they let him off because he was connected to so many people that it would have had a huge effect on Hollywood, politics, and churches.
I feel you.
So they're like, no, we can't take him down. He'll tell on all of us.
Listen, I feel like this. I mean, we don't know what's all on those tapes. We don't know who was all part of those freak offs. We don't know who's. I mean, we just know the cast of characters through, the courts and what they say, and the only people that could see it was the jurors, anyway. So we don't know what celebrity who was there. But I always look at it like this when it comes to just this stature and this type of thing. Like, I just feel like that and the Epstein files, they don't want to put this shit out in public because it will destroy entertainment, it will destroy Hollywood, it will destroy so many fucking people that they don't want to put it out. And it's bullshit to me, because here we are trying to find what justice looks like, and most people are really and truly caring about the bottom line in terms of like, oh, I don't want to get in trouble, or I don't want to be outed, or we don't want the whole truth to come out. It's just like politics, and we'll talk about Trump and all that shit later, but it's just like politics. Do you think they really put out the entire truth as far as what the fuck is going on in this day and age? No, they don't. They don't. And I just need y'all people out there to just be true to the situation. Like, look, you could share that, Puppy's free, and or he's free somewhat or whatever, and then, oh, the case they brought against him was bullshit. But I mean, keep it true, y'all. Like, this man was truly, truly evil. There's a lot of truly evil people out there who is walking amongst us right now in corporate offices, maybe down the block, maybe your neighbor, all that shit. And it's not, and that doesn't make it right. That just make it what it is. But when it's time to really get deep into it and figure out what the fuck is going on, like, a lot of people don't understand that the thing, I always believe in people help people and shit like that. I always believe in paying it forward. And he was put in a position or a situation, not saying that he didn't help anybody, because I'm sure he did, but where somewhere along the line, and I think this entertainment business has problems, because I always look at it like this: like, you go back in history of music and groups and everything like that, and even acting and all parts of entertainment, right? Somewhere along the line, there's people who is what, they got turned out, meaning drugs, meaning whatever the fuck, or maybe it's their ego and they feel like at the end of the day, I can't be touched. I got these millions of dollars, I'm good. Like, I don't need to answer to nobody. I got police in my back pocket. I could do whatever the fuck I want. I'm the king of New York or California or whatever the fuck. Like, I could, you get all these people that make this amount of money that says that shit, but the bottom line is, and everybody gonna say, hey, this man he was just a pervert, he freak offs. That's, you can't be guilty of that. But there's some ramifications along with what comes when you do these things and the action that comes up. You videotape people, some knowingly, some not knowingly. You take these situations into account. You take the fact that he's drugs all over the place. all over the place, which has been a bad omen for people in this music business and this entertainment business anyways. You go down the list of people who OD'd or got turned out and wound up having fucked up situations later on in life. I think about Len Bias and what he could have been in basketball. I think about Dana Plato, actress who was on different strokes than others, who literally flatlined because of drugs and just the influence of all that shit that took place. The people that still living, like Bobby Brown's, went through hell, and I'm pretty sure he has demons on top of demons on top of shit. Everybody that's went through it. You hear stories that Mary J. Blige, she was on drugs and it took her a minute to get off. There's a whole generational lift when it comes to a lot of different things, when it comes to just drugs and entertainment and all this shit. So people out there miss me with this whole, like, I feel like Diddy's innocent or blah 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 blah. Like, to me, it's bullshit. Like, it's not even normal that we're here right now. And I just think at the end of the day, like, we really gotta like check ourselves, because it's just a problem.
It's so frustrating because it's like the people that are always saying, or that are saying, what do you mean? Diddy's not mean. They just have him confused. And I'm like, did you watch Making the Band? Because I did. Did you watch how he treated the band, which was the dumbest name ever? First and foremost, let's start there. What the hell? Like, whoever said the band was a good idea should have been the first one to get the boot. Like, what the fuck? That was just insane. Yeah. But like, to make them walk all the way to get that damn cheesecake and then not be there when they get back.
Well, that was just one thing, and that was on TV. So sometimes they try to put a 20 on TV and just make it like dramatic, right? They just want to make it what it is. I get it. I interviewed too many reality show men and women over the years, and I know they being a lot of producers, they initiate it. So we can go there with that shit when it comes to that. But anybody, like, to me, you got to look at Puffy and his situation. That man has over 70 civil lawsuits in the pot right now. So you got to think about the fact that where there's smoke, there's fire. And if he was really pristine, clean, and, not filled with, any kind of, like, anything that's just a red flag, like, I'm sorry, 70 civil lawsuits is wild to me. So that means there's a lot of trouble. It's just like old boy who's a kicker for the Baltimore Ravens. That man had, like, he had over 10 lawsuits against him for sexual assault or some shit like that or whatever. And I don't think, and it, benefit of the doubt, I mean, there's a lot of fake ass lawsuits that take place and shit like that. So we got to make sure we keep it true when it comes to that. There's a lot of people who don't keep it 100. They want to try to make money off this. There's that shit happens. But at the end of the day, a good percentage of those is real. Like,
exactly.
Real. So defend that, people. At the end of the day, I can't fucking I'm done with how this shit is. Like, to me, I just think that throughout the course, and I paid attention on a regular basis, and I had sources out in New York and shit like that. So I knew, like, some of the shit that was going on, not just within, like, deny, because I told you about one of the jurors that was gonna I told you on Friday that juror was gonna get kicked out on Monday. Like, I told you before it went down. So I got people connected, but deeper than that, like, I just think, if and let's just go to the prosecutor, because they fucked up. They had a good ass opportunity to put this man behind bars for a long ass time, forever, right? They had a chance. They fucked it up. They fucked it up. They fucked it up, and they fucked it up again. And I knew this from the jump. Like, from the jump. The moment Cassie went on stand, they need to get her in and out because she was about to have a baby. Get that. Respect that. But then you didn't create a case for everything. Rico, I was waiting for something to pop off beforehand, and I was just waiting. Smoking gun, all that shit, receipts. They have it though. They have something of it, but it wasn't proven thoroughly, which then made it more ridiculous to be like, why is this case even out there? Like, and Sean Combs gambled on himself and he won. I mean, with a big charge. But these 2 counts of prostitution carries a 10-year max sentence for each one. Now, in October, he's going to wind up, seeing what his sentence is or whatever the case, right? So we're going to find out if the judge is going to do concurrent sentences and what that max is going to look like. Offline, Deny, I was telling you, I don't even know if that man's going to get 2 10-year sentences, aka 20 years. I think he's probably going to wind up doing like 5. They're gonna do 10. They're gonna say, all right, we're gonna do 10 because he didn't have like a heavy prior record or nothing like that. So he's gonna wind up doing 10. They're gonna split that in halves. He's gonna wind up doing 5, and it is what it is. But that man's 56 years old. At this point in time, his career is shot. Maybe. And I say maybe because, look at Al Green. Al Green committed murder and he was fine after he got out or he served his time or whatever. He did what he needed to do. There's a lot of people who, did some time.
But here's the thing, though, with Puffy, though, like, this is the first time he's done some time. This is the first time he's been charged with stuff.
True.
That's the difference. So, like, and I don't know why I didn't watch the full trial, but I've been, because there's certain stuff, I was like, I need to be able to sleep at night. I can't hear all this. The fact that his children are hearing this is disgusting. But like, there are a lot of things that I guess they couldn't bring up, but like, they didn't call a lot of people, and that's what saved him. They
the
prosecution
fucked up. Like, they fucked up. They didn't call enough. They didn't do enough with that, but they had plenty of time though. That's the thing. Like, the defense didn't even call any fucking witnesses. They had time. They let things linger on. And I feel like if I was a juror, I would have been bored. 1000%. Like, I mean, I'm all for justice, but at the end of the day, what is it about a situation where you can't prove shit? Like, you can't, like, you had a whole by the time the raids went down and they arrested that man, you had time to build your case. You had time. And they fucked off, didn't do it, and it's just a shame. It's a shame because that man deserves to be under the jail. Like I said, I don't give a fuck if you have a daughter or not. It's somebody's child, somebody's daughters, plural. And if you're in the lifestyle because you choose to be in the lifestyle, you don't deserve to be treated like you a piece of shit. You don't.
Right.
You still got a whole, like, some kind of like morality when it comes to doing right and wrong shit. You get 2 people that do wrongs, and if somebody like overnight says, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, I'm done, but you still enable and you still like threaten and you still add on or pile on to other shit. I mean, what is that going to do for anybody at the end of the day? Like, to me, that's bullshit. Like, I feel like they missed the boat when they didn't cap. I mean, there's so many people that I know or knew that should have taken a stand. Like, let's just be real about it. Like, word on the street was I'll be sure didn't take the stand. You know what? You could. I mean, I know Dawn Richard took the stand, but how about Aubrey O'Day? How come she didn't take the stand?
Aubrey didn't take the stand. I was very surprised about her.
They needed to throw shade at everything. Any conspiracy theory type shit they could have threw out there and it's just playing, like, to me, I'm not a prosecutor, so I don't know. But you're playing chess with the situation right there. Now, some records may have been stricken if I was a prosecutor, and I'll be like, hey, we don't know if he was involved in Kim Porter's death. We don't know. I'm putting it all the way out there if I was them. So,
but they could have not even beyond that. Like, when you're talking about burden of proof, and you're talking about what he's done before, they could have gone back to the very first situation where all those kids died at that concert.
Yeah,
because it was overcrowded. It could have gone back to why is the child to the shooting situation. That girl's still alive.
Yep.
If he never got charged with that, could he put it on somebody else?
Yep. And it's crazy, it's ridiculous, it's not even funny that, you know, we're here and they're there in this situation or whatever. Like, it doesn't, to me, this whole thing, and like I said, I paid enough attention to know where the prosecution fell off, and they didn't prove enough, and they were all over the place, and they were scattered in regards to that. Saying that is to say they had one job to do. But also, the bigger picture is the way I'm looking at how society is and how it works right now. Like, I don't get myself how it's gotten to this point right now in entertainment, because to me there is a generational uh cycle that's still flowing in regards to being, you know, that's why a lot of women don't fucking, they, you know what, I'm just gonna sit this out, because I mean, they don't want a rapist or sexual assault or whatever the case. You know what, these people, right, we're gonna put it into a judge, you're gonna put it in the hands of a jury has, they have agendas, people. Let's just keep that way real. Juries have agendas. Depending on the profile of these or not, they have agendas. These agendas can come with possible book deals, going and doing like press tours or whatever the hell to promote whatever it is that they're thinking. The moment they get, you know what, you're a juror, you're going to be juror number 10, and this is what's going on or whatever the hell. Like, that's their, they have agendas. And to me, I feel like everybody has agenda. So where do we go in a situation where, you know what, the jury have an agenda, the judge have an agenda, the prosecution has one as well, defense team do too. How does that work with just trying to find out what kind of justice is real? Like, to me, I don't know, Denia. Like, I don't know where we can go from here in regards to that.
What did they say in the comment? I can't see it.
Capricorn, appreciate you. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, all this stuff that Puff was accused of was all made up accusations. You know what? I'm open. I'm open to that. I'm open to that, because you know what? At the but Capricorn, I appreciate it. And to me, that's a real thing to talk about or discuss. Because what if all this shit? There's a lot of people where I personally feel like was innocent. Poor Michael Jackson, but that's another time for another story or whatever.
Right.
But I can't be a hypocrite and say, you know what, I haven't looked at that, but I'm gonna just bypass it. So I can't be a hypocrite and not, you know, comment on that and just look the other way, because to me it really and truly could be. But like I said,
so
respecting that before you add on to that from what Capricorn is saying, it is, he's accused of a lot. The shit hasn't been proven, but I think what he's accused of is smoke, right? You know, where so there's smoke, there's fire in regards to that. To me, I think he's a terrible person, terrible human being. If you had that sense of thing in your head where you could legit drag somebody out of a hotel, beat her down, and all this other shit that pops off, somewhere, somehow, you're dirtbag for that, and you need to be held accountable for that. I get it. I get that part. You hear a lot of things from a lot of other people say that he is really not a nice guy. But also, a lot of people have said that he's a nice guy. He's given to charity. He's paid people's rents or mortgages. He did a lot of shit for the community, blah, 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 blah. But what I find in the entertainment business is interesting, because there's a lot of people who do a lot of good, but they do a lot of terrible shit at the end of the day. And that's where the divide is real. And I respect where you're coming from, Capricorn, because to me, I would feel conflicted. I wouldn't know which way to go. And that's why I really and truly want to make sure that I have, like, you know, I don't want to dump on this guy. I just know what I see. And what I saw was, and what I heard was, and you know, you can't base shit off hearsay. You just got to go with the flow when it comes to that. So Capricorn also says, believe a lot of the stuff that, but feels like he didn't do all of it. But and I respect that, because you know what? I'm gonna keep it true too. Like, there's a lot of stuff that it's just, what, we're gonna say you did this, meaning that, the government or prosecutors or whoever the fuck, right? Like, we're just gonna say you did it, but we gonna take some time to prove it. We just gonna throw the shit out there. It's just like, deny, how many times have we thrown a lot of shit out there to see what sticks in life or whatever? Prosecutors do that shit all the time. Let's just throw all the charges that we could possibly throw and then see what the fuck is up. But again, from what was proven or what's out there, he's a sexual drug induced mess. That's been proven. And the case of him dragging people out and threatening people and shit like that is real. He may not have gotten his hands dirty, but there's a lot of dirt on his hands, if you get what I mean. Like, he's not absolved or innocent of anything. He's weird, just like a lot of other people in this industry. I could name you names of people who I feel like should be in jail now. What is it, Tommy Mottola, and who's the other guy that I feel like fucking literally moved on and continued with the Grammy party while Whitney Houston was dead upstairs or whatever. What's that? Yeah, Clive Davis. Yeah, all them motherfuckers. Like, they all need to go under the jail, like, for real.
And they say that that Clive Davis is the one who talked.
Well, I mean, again, this is the problem that I have in this business. If Puffy was taught that by Clive Davis and, they said Andre Harrell and some of these other people and shit like that, I mean, when will the cycle end? When will this shit end when you don't hear people, you know what, hey, he or she is just strung out on drugs, and they could just go through life happy without using that shit. Like, I don't get why people in this entertainment business won't be honest about themselves, that not only is it a shady business, it is a business where I feel like at the end of the day will destroy lives. You got to think about it out there, people that's listening and stuff like that. And I appreciate it. All the people, continue to add comments and be a part of the conversation. I totally appreciate it. We've seen a lot of people die because of drugs or mental breakdowns. We just had what I feel like I could say is a friend of mine, somebody that I did radio business with. A lot of people may not know Young Noble or the Outlaws. He was part of Tupac's group from back in the 90s. He killed himself on the 4th of July that morning. People don't understand that mental illness is real. You could be in the spotlight. You could be everything. But at the end of the day, you still dealing with whatever demons is going on in your life, be it if it's personal or professional. And that happens a lot in this entertainment business because they want you to be somebody that you're probably not. And not only that, you are being coerced with drugs, with alcohol. You are being, you know what, you can't make this amount of money or have the spotlight unless you do XYZ. And to me, when are you going to break that out there, people? When is it going to get to the point where you're going to have to just be like, you know what? Fuck it. You know what? This fame, I don't want this shit. I'd rather just do my music, make my money, live my life, take care of my family, do all the shit that needs to be done in order for you to keep it moving. Like, to me, this is a system that is broken. How many people do we know in entertainment, sports, all this shit? Jail because of drugs, because of this, because of that. How many people have we seen it? Janiyah, you and I, we've seen it in our lifetime. We've seen it before our lifetime. There's a bad pattern out there, people, and this Puffy situation and all this stuff or whatever needs to be addressed, dealt with, and handled the way it should, because the more you're out there doing X, Y, Z, the worse you're going to wind up being. And he's a casualty of that. So Capricorn and others, if you feel like a lot of shit that he probably did, he probably did. A lot of shit that people say he probably didn't do, respectfully, not proven. So we can't judge him on that shit. But where there's smoke, there's fire. And people can't, in the entertainment business, they can't keep themselves clean because they have to be out there. Entertainment, right? I need to be out there. I need to be public. And I need to make sure that my brand is right, because if you don't, then you're going to wind up being in some kind of, flux or state where, you know what, my fame is not where it used to be. People not checking me no more. It's a wrap. But we got to change this narrative now, because my man Noble, rest in peace, he chose to do what he did. And I can't say it was right or wrong. It was his choice. I know I personally wouldn't do it. And I know a lot of people took their lives in this 2025 year and beyond. But a lot of people chose not to be on this earth for whatever reason. And it's sad as fuck. And we got to find a way to be able to steer that. So the entertainment business is on notice. Like, I swear, like, me saying this right now, they might come and kill me. You know what I mean? Just based on the fact that drugs should never be. Like, if you even, like, weed's gotten beyond the point where we used to think back in the day it was nice to hear those weed songs and, I got 5 on it and, drugs, weed, drugs, all this. Molly's, now it's gotten the Molly's, cocaine, all this bullshit, right? Like, all of it will end your life sooner than you think. Because if the drugs don't do it, your lifestyle will, and you're going to wind up figuring shit out. Or you're going to get caught up where you're going to wind up being in jail or harassed in such a way, just like Puffy. If Puffy would have made his millions and been cool and quiet, all right, whatever. Just like Suge Knight. Suge Knight had an opportunity to do so much to the fucking community if he would have stayed right. If his business would have took flight and did what he needed to do. You go on and on and on. Bill Cosby, you can go through different cycles of shit. But I get it. Everybody have demons. I get it. Everybody has shit that they need to deal with in life. But I'm just saying the drugs and the attention and the negativity is gonna fuck your life up sooner than you think.
Absolutely. And that's the thing I try to influence, students I work with or whatever, like, pay attention to the message that you're putting out there when it comes to your music. Because your music can either help or harm.
So yeah,
G Herbo, what the heck is it? Audibles.
Denai, here's what I'm gonna say to that, and I get what you mean. I get what you mean, but here's what I'm gonna say to that. People got to have stronger minds to think that, if people is rapping about drugs or guns or shooting and shit like that, if it's really going to influence you to do those type of things, then that means your mind has never been strong enough to differentiate between what's right and wrong at the end of the day. There's a lot of choices that these men and women out there is rapping about, all the wrong choices. Now, some are doing it for fame. Some are doing it as a learning lesson for people to be aware of all the shit that they had to go through, so you won't have to go through that shit. So you gotta have your balance and options when it comes to that. Like the stuff that I listened to, and I heard a lot of shit during the 80s and the 90s and the NWAs and all that shit. All that shit did not want to make me deny and go get a gun and go say fuck the police or whatever. None of it did. None of it did. But there's a lot of people who are mentally whatever, and they made a choice to be like, look, I mean, and we used to hear this denying back in the 90s, where, you know what, somebody would go to jail and they would say, I was inspired by Tupac's song, by another rap artist, because I needed to go get a gun and go shoot a cop or do whatever, right? So, it's just crazy. It's just crazy at the end of the day. And I think the biggest thing that we could do moving forward is just make sure that we avoid what we need to in regarding just life in general, because I just don't understand that we're here, y'all. Like, it's just really crazy. But I think when it's all said and done, I need people to really understand that if you really and truly want to deal with what you want to deal with in the entertainment business, you really have to switch it up. But I just think there's a balance tonight when it comes to music. I could listen to gangster rap all day, but see, that's just me and my flow. Like I could listen to hardcore heavy rap, but also I could listen to gospel music and literally right after that. You know what I mean? It's just different. My whole music concept of what I do is just different. But that's
Exactly.
just how I play it. But people got to be responsible with what they, feed into their minds, but people also have to have responsibility to, at the end of the day, feed into themselves and how their perception is when it comes to people in general. And I just think that, we hit a wall when it comes to the overall business of entertainment. Like the entertainment business, it's gonna eventually get outed, and then the ramifications from it is gonna come hit people hard when it's all said and done. And it's just gonna make it an interesting go when it's all said and done. So it's just I don't know. I don't even I mean, I got a foot in the door entertainment wise tonight because we're in this business. We're radio people and journalists at the end of the day, and I love music of all kinds. I just run into like problems with people who take it literal and don't want to come back from what they want to come back from in terms of how they absorb shit. So it's just real to me. So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, but also the situation too is the fact that we have rappers that had these former lives, but they put all the evidence in the music. And I'm just like, so let me get this straight. So you shot him, went down to the the local pond to dump the body, and then you took the car to the next town, and then you took the gun and put it like you're
I got
giving
you.
the prosecution everything that they need.
I got you. But
Lock your
but
ass up.
but see, but you're right. I mean, but then you got to remember there's a lot of studio gangsters out there. Like that was outed in the 90s as well. A lot of people who say they
Yeah.
did dirt never did dirt. So that's what
Well,
I
I'm not
mean. You
talking
got
about, I'm
to
talking about the ones that have done dirt and you confess it.
true, but that's what I mean when I say, like, to me, if you've seen it or been around it, and I've been around a lot of crazy shit in my life, like, but something about like trying to be able to put it out and glorify it or whatever, it's kind of weird to me. But also, I don't look at it as that. I don't even look at it as it glorifying. Just like you got a choice. Like people rap about weed, they love to smoke weed. They rap about it. It's so many weed love songs, for the last 30 years. It's crazy, but it's still a choice at the end of the day. I get it. People want to dabble and experiment and do all kinds of wild shit or whatever. I get it. I get it. But it's really and truly up to how that person works it in order for the shit to be what it is. So, you know, I just think the entertainment business, as we pivot to something else that I feel like we need to talk about. Then I just think at the end of the day, entertainment business is on alert right now, in my opinion. Yes, a lot of people are celebrating Puffy and his innocence on 3 charges and guilt on 2, and those 2 will result for a
Listen,
lesser.
the one thing that we do that nobody else can do is we can shape time, and we can literally make timeless moments. Like there's so many amazing moments that I've had in entertainment, so many incredible artists that we were able to connect with, and some of those moments have literally changed lives. That's the one thing that no other business can ever do.
Well, music to me is always going to have those moments in our lives where it's going to shape us. Literally, there's moments where I go back and I appreciate what music gave me as I was going through whatever it was I was going through. It's therapeutic. It is necessary. It has saved lives in a lot of different ways, and it has taken lives in a lot of different ways too. So you got to look at it for what it is and what it's worth at the end. Listen, entertainment business, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this clear with all respect to the game itself. You are on alert. do better entertainment. And when I say that, I'm talking about accountability, and more accountability when it comes to certain things or whatnot. Like, I just think that it's very, very important for all of us to kind of address it and say what we need to say. And as Denia's working on her phone stuff or whatnot, um, because I want to add her into the conversation as we're going to talk about Donald Trump and this big, beautiful, ugly bill that was passed and how much of an impact it's going to wind up having on so many different people. I just want to finish off by what I've been saying, that anybody out there that's listening will be listening. I'm just going off the cuff. This is just what I feel in general as we talk about it or discuss what's out there in this world. I just think for 100%, when it comes to Puffy, he's bringing a lot of deadly baggage to the table, and I just think at the end of the day, um, we just have to do what we need to do. So we will discuss it. And Deny, I got you. Like, anytime you can tap back in, you can definitely do that. But um, I look at it. I look at it to close entertainment, and I just really want to just wish everybody like well in what they do and who they want to be and everything else that comes with it. Like, I just think it's important for us to really recognize where we're at in our lives and do better. I'm not here to pass judgment on anybody. I'm just giving my thoughts and my opinions about just stuff and what I feel like we need to do in order for us to be able to get better in life and love and everything else that comes with it. So, um, much appreciated to all the people out there who continue to just listen and hear what I have to say. To me, it's just sad because there's so many people who's going to be affected by this. But do better entertainment. You're on the clock when it comes to just doing better, because when you have decades and decades of like a lot of lost souls who have died by weird entertainment things, or who haven't gotten their just due from the stuff that they've created or put together, it's really sad that we're here to talk about it or discuss it. So, um as Denia's trying to figure out her stuff, I want to pivot to talking about this big, beautiful bill that Donald Trump has put out and has passed through the Senate and the House. Um, I encourage anybody that has a mom or a grandmother who is going through something, or who has Medicaid, um, who has anything really in terms of I need people to really tap in and figure it out as Denia comes back in.
And in my phone. Hold on.
Your phone got too hot?
My phone got too hot, because this climate change that don't exist. My phone got too hot under this climate change that don't exist.
Hey, the conversation's so heavy that you gotta fan your phone. What
Baby,
the
phone.
fuck? What the hell? What the hell? But
fan the phone. The conversation's so hot. You gotta fan the phone. What you mean?
Respect. Nah, I was getting ready to tap into this big, beautiful bill that we were putting in and going through. So I look at it. I look at it like this, and I encourage anybody who has grandparents, parents, anybody who is Medi-Cal, Medicaid, anybody who is in need of government assistance or whatnot. There's going to be millions and millions of people who are screwed by this bill. I encourage people to do your research, be a journalist inside you, and figure out what is it that we have to do to recognize and realize that everything that these people are passing is not for us regular people. It's not. You get other people, politicians, most of them, who are celebrating the fact that we're going to cut all these different. And it is very, very disturbing and very sad that we are here talking about something. I just feel like at the end of the day, our government is okay with having regular folks be collateral damage. Meaning, if we're going to lose 14 million, 15 million, something, and let them starve or let them not get the help they so desperately need, then you know what? It's okay. We don't need them because we got these million or billionaires right here where we're going to be able to do what we do, and it's fine. And they're doing that. I will never tell anybody to say, hey, you know what? I want you to believe what I believe. I will never say that. But I encourage you, study that bill that just got passed. And you don't think it's going to affect you? Think again. Because you may not be that person, man or woman or whatever, that needs that Medicaid or Medi-Cal or these government assistant type things. But I promise you, later in life, you're going to really and truly wish you paid attention in 2025. Because my belief is, and I studied enough to know there's a problem, not just with this current administration, but with the way the system is working right now. Because if you can go and build concentration camps in Florida, but you can't afford to feed the homeless people that is in your United States right now, do you not see the problem with that? They could spend millions over there, y'all. They could spend that shit.
450 actually. Be quite honest.
And you cannot tell me in every city, in every state, there is homeless people starving. People who need a break. That's American citizens. We do have some lost souls, but you know what? Get them some fucking help. If you out there and you think this is okay, you got a problem. You got a problem. It's amazing that we've gotten to this point in our political world where we see more strife and we see more toxicity. And it's getting worse every day, every minute, every second. Because we have people who think they are above the law. And we have people who think they can just go ahead and just feel like, you know what, I can judge, I can be the jury, and I can be the executioner all in one swoop. Does that make it right? I asked Denia this the other day. I said that you give me a situation where you had people on both sides, let's just say three, Democrats, Republicans, Independents, who was like, you know what? Let's put our people above any of this bullshit right now and see if we can figure out something together. I got to lean a little bit for you. You got to lean a little bit for me. We got to make this shit work. We got to do blah, blah, blah. But everywhere you turn, from televisions to everything else that you see, be it if it's on C-SPAN or MSNBC or Fox or whatever, you got somebody fighting somebody because somebody is stupid, according to them, or whatever the case may be. You have never, ever seen three parties come together and be like, you know what, let's just make this work. We're going to have to figure it out. I might have to hurt you. You might have to hurt me. We might have to hurt each other. But let's figure out how we can coexist and keep it moving. Give me a time, people. Has that ever happened? We saw a glimpse of it during the Obama administration, a little bit through the Trump administration, a little bit through the Clinton administration, a little bit. But nothing to the point where we're fighting each other now because we don't agree. We love Trump so much. We love the Kamala. We love Biden. We love all these people. We don't like them. No, I promise you, I may not be a fan of this current administration, and even the one that was in 2016. But you know what? I'm ready to be wrong if I'm proven wrong. If he's gonna help other people, if everybody's gonna help other people. But instead, we got this constant fighting going back and forth for nothing. And this beautiful bill that he calls it is only fatlining the pockets of billionaires and all this shit that's out there that's reckless, y'all. There is nothing that we're going to gain. We're going to lose, people. And I don't care who you voted for. Give me one reason why this man is the end all be all, and this man is the messiah to everything because he says and does everything. Give me something that your life was affected or changed because of what anybody in politics has done. I always say, it's a popularity contest, basically. And not just that, it's basically something where I feel like, you know what, I'd rather have my president be calm, be like supportive. I would rather have my president just be like, look, you know what, we're going to figure this out where everybody's happy, not just my camp. I just want somebody like that. You tell me, do we have somebody like that right now, y'all? Right now, do we have somebody like that? So fuck no. So this bill, I encourage you to do some digging, look and see what the fuck is up. But I promise you this, it ain't good. But I can also promise you that it's going to affect your kids, your grandkids, and the people before that. And you know, this current administration guy right now, this orange guy, he has a very poor track record of going bankrupt, losing his businesses, whatever. Do you really think, and let's just keep it true, everything that comes out of his mouth is probably a fucking lie? Let's keep it true. I'm tired of it, y'all. It's gotten to the point where it's ridiculous. Somebody help me. Help this situation, y'all. Help the situation. Do your research on this bill. See how it's going to affect you.
I just put on record I voted for the smart black lady. Just saying. That's competent and had law experience and shit. The fact that we are here again, when we've been here before, when we knew what he was gonna do, it's just so frustrating.
I look at things like this. Like, to me, it's pretty simple. Like, you could hate me all you want to. I don't give a fuck. Like, it is what it is. Like, what I'm doing right now though is I'm encouraging you to just go look for the truth. If you think I'm bullshitting, just go find it, because you can easily find it. You can go easily see what the specs on that bill looks like, and you could see why every Democrat voted against it and 2 Republicans voted against it, and everybody who was Trumpers voted for it. You could see.
Shout out to the Republicans with common sense. We'll give y'all that. We'll give y'all this too.
But at the end of the day, I just want the thing is, so many people put a spin on it. It's wild to me, and it's very disrespectful for the real American people who literally will be feeling it at the end of the day. So the thing they want to get you, y'all, if you look at the bill closely, is like, hey, you're not gonna get any taxes on on tips, on overtime. You're not gonna get taxed on that. That's supposed to be okay though. So that means like you can work hella overtime for a company, but you're not gonna get taxed. Whoopee. But what about the small businesses who literally work 50 hours, 60 hours, 70 hours a week or some shit like that? What about exempt employees who literally will not be getting any overtime from that or benefiting from that? The only people that's benefiting from it is the hourly workers, not the exempt. Those are the ones that can work 60, 70 hours or whatever and still get screwed because of no overtime. So how's that going to work for everybody? Now, I get it. There's a lot that we could say right now to say that, you know what, we can't help everybody. I get it. And I fully respect that. And I also understand that in some cases, some things have to go by the wayside in order for shit to get better. I get that too. But this bill and the length of it and how many trillions of dollars is really going to be fucked off is going to affect everything you do moving forward. So, balancing options while you're feeling that, yo, this is cool. I get no tax on my OT. Think about this though. Everything around you is going to be more expensive. You're going to have to pay for a lot more because you got that not taxable OT. So are you really winning at the end of the day? Are you? I want you to really and truly keep it true and think about it as you're going through this bill. Like I said, I encourage everybody to go poke some holes in it or support it. You're probably a millionaire, billionaire, don't give a fuck or whatever, and you're supporting it. And I'm over here, Denai's over here. We're just trying to speak for the people. We're empowering you to go figure it out. Go be journalist yourself. If you don't want to believe what I'm saying, or you don't want to believe what she's saying.
I mean, if y'all don't want to believe it, you can go read it. You can go listen to the 9-hour speech that the Senate gave reading the bill. If y'all don't want to physically read it, y'all can go listen to what it says.
To be true, y'all, let's keep it real. Let's keep it all the way real when it comes to that. We are empowering you to go find the truth. Please. Because to me, honestly, I just don't know where this country is going anymore. I don't. I'm here, so I got to figure it out. My job and my mission really is to do more than what I'm doing. I still got shit that I need to do. I still got to fall in line what I need to fall in line with so I can do more, be better for everybody to see that there is stuff that you could do that's going to be able, you're going to be able to overcome this shit. You'll be all right. It'll be fine. But I'm still, because of who I am, I'm still worried about everybody else who is not able to fall in line or can't run with us. Like, I'm just being real, y'all. I need y'all to figure it out and to take ownership in that. And the only way you can be able to do that is just be honest. Like, you know, like Denaya said, I voted for, you know, the other person. I didn't vote for this guy. Everybody told you so. He's gonna go to war. They called it. They were calling shots left and right for years. I just need y'all to be honest with just the situation. And because of the way he is telegraphing a lot of shit that he said before, but y'all are still cool with it because you know what? Y'all tripping. Y'all, some people, some ignorant people. When I say ignorant, they don't go with facts. They just go with, well, I just voted for him because, you know, I'm going to get that stimulus. Well, I'm going to get that check because I need that check. I'm going to get that stimulus check and I'll be all right. Look, have you got it? Did you get it? Did you? Okay. All right. I'm just checking.
Those who decided they wanted to vote for it because the stimulus, I'm gonna need y'all to learn how government works. All he did was sign it. Congress got that. The Democrats got that. Let's be clear. Nancy Pelosi got that check for y'all.
He signed it like he did something. That was back during his first administration, anyways. Let's just be real about that shit. Like I said, I don't give a fuck who you voted for. I don't care. We're here now. We're here now. What do you think he's gonna do for you, people? What do you think? What do you honestly think this man is gonna do for you? Right now, he's not gonna do nothing for me. I gotta go figure it out myself. Meaning, I gotta go to city council people, see what the fuck is going on in my city because I need to know. Figure out what I'm going to do for myself because as a business owner, I need to figure out what path I need to take and how I can be able to strengthen my own direction and what I want to go and take as many people as I want to come that wants to come. I'm about that. I don't care who you voted for. I just want you to be honest about just where you want to go and who's taking you there. No president is not going to take me anywhere. I got to go figure this shit out myself. But at the end of the day, the person who you voted for is the most vicious, malicious, you name it, he's there. A clear liar, like 100% of the time. And as I'm talking about him, I want to throw something out there because Naya put it in that comment section about climate change. And I want to send my thoughts and prayers to everyone that's reeling in Texas right now. And when I say that, I'm talking about a lot of lives lost, a lot of people who are suffering right now, literally stranded in their homes with waters flooding above them right now. I saw some shit that was crazy real on TikTok and others where people are literally like, the one thing I saw tonight just touched my heart. We had this guy can't get out of his bed because he's ill, but every single part of that room in that house is flooded. So his family's trying to, like, anybody out there that could reach them to please let somebody know where they're at. Sad as fuck going through this shit right now. Like, it to me, I care enough about people to know that climate change is real. The fact that I'm sure FEMA and everything that this current administration cut, they can't get back to them because of what, y'all? Oh, you cut FEMA, so it's gonna take a minute before they get to these people. Are you fucking serious? Be honest about it. You're gonna have situations like this where you need to respond right away. So if you're in a situation right now where you feel like, yeah, he cut back because we don't use FEMA like that or whatever. Well, you need it today. You needed it yesterday. And you still don't understand how this impacts people's lives. We got over what, 10, 15 kids dead. We got over 30, 40 people literally washed away dead. We got people who are still trapped in their homes, literally. That one person that I saw that was sending a message trying to encourage anybody to get some help. It's that water is starting to smell like sewer. And they're in their home, people. Come on, man. Do better with that shit. Like, it is sad, y'all. It is sad. When you cut stuff, like when you cut certain things off, you're gonna have consequences and repercussions. And I'm not playing when I say this. Administration, do better. Do better. You cut all this shit, and now these people were suffering. Fuck out of here with that shit. That anybody listen to, I don't, like I said, I don't care who you voted for, but the support though. Just because you voted for him doesn't mean that you gotta support this man. You had one vision and that vision didn't work. So you're now like, you know what? Nah, I can't see where this is going, because we're 7 months into this damn administration. And we're seeing what? A lot of suicides. We're seeing climate change. We're seeing war. We're seeing trade war. We're seeing all this shit going on right now. Chaos. Nah, we got to do better, y'all. And until we figure it out, we're gonna still be fucked. And it's gonna, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. We had a rough 4 years before Obama took over during the Bush administration. It was rough because we had problems, but not as bad as this. Not as bad as this. I encourage y'all to just figure out what life is going to look like and how the fuck y'all want to do more and get better, because at the end of the day, this is where we're at right now. This is it. This is it. But my Texas people, I know a few people from Texas. I worked with a few on conference calls when I worked in banks and shit like that. I'm with y'all. I'm with y'all because from what I hear, it went from bad to worse in a matter of seconds. And I'm just literally like throwing my prayers out there. I'm just hoping they find more survivors, and hoping that people out there that needs rescuing will be rescued. Um, I got a soft spot for, like, people helping people. And I heard this current president say that, I'm just hearing it's just too bad. Oh, it's bad. You know, but you can look in his eyes, that man don't give a fuck. He's probably like, fuck, how's that gonna hurt my bottom line today? That's what I'm saying, y'all. Like, listen, I'm gonna get deny. Say what you gotta say, because this shit. I'm over this shit.
There's so much to say. I mean, he cut the funding for the weather service. And the weather service said that, well, if you're cutting our funding, that makes it harder for us to put the weather balloons in the air, which helps to determine when storms are coming so people can have enough notice that they can leave and stuff. The person that's in charge of FEMA right now doesn't know that hurricane season exists. So, like, there's and hurricane season is happening. It's super clear. We're not even in the thick of it. This is the beginning. Like, this is just like the basic stuff. This isn't even the major shit yet. So, and again, oof, we know no one voted for this specifically, but this is a mess. This
His
is a
two terms
mess.
currently, his past term and this current term, 7 months in. The last term was filled with a lot of chaos and racial divide and everything that you could think of, right? This one right here still has it because we still dealing with ICE and his fuck ups. Oh, we need numbers. So let's not just go get the people that is like convicted, like whatever. Let's go get like real people trying to do real business in the United States that was able to do the shit. So we got more problems than anything, than more than before. And here we are right now in a situation where I feel like, you know what, we got to have different ways to be able to stand up for one another and figure this shit out. Like, we just have to, despite who's the president, despite who's in the Senate or the House, to figure out how we can be able to do better together at the end of the day. That's it. Like, that's it. And if you want to take sides and shit like that, fine, do what you do in your own time. So, but that does tell me a little bit about you, though. That tells me that you are selfish and you're only in whatever it is that you're in for yourself. You're not really in it for, like, to help others. Like, I would love to help my neighbor who wants to be helped. I would love for somebody to help me. Shit, let's keep it true. But
But
here,
let's be very clear on one thing. And I'm speaking to all the people that were anti Kamala, anti woman, because they said that women are too emotional. We bombed Iran because no one came to this guy's birthday party.
hey,
That,
millions of people went to the anti-party than his actual party himself.
and he
So
mad.
if he wanted to help on that, like if he was mad because, oh, we didn't get the turnout that we wanted or whatever, so let me just go ahead and go to war with somebody so I can be able to get the attention. So you're gonna go to war, stop the war in a matter of days, and it's fine. Like, but then again, we pay taxes, people. So a lot of shit that they're sending over there and doing elsewhere, we're gonna wind up paying for it later. You don't throw shit in the air thinking it's not gonna explode back on the American people in some way, shape, or form. Let's be honest. He can hand deliver and saying that, hey, he's lowered the cost of eggs. Whoop de fucking do. The gas prices, oh, it's got a little lawyer since then. Whoop de fucking do. It's still over $4 on average, depending on where you're at. But fuck you and everything else that comes in there, because to me, that's not enough. Do more, do more, do more. Like, and when I say that, you can easily create a bill that will suck the tax difference of trillions of dollars for the next 10 years. But you can't easily, and hold up, you can, like I said earlier, you can easily go and figure out that I can create a detention camp in Florida. But as I said earlier, you can't stop homeless. You can't end housing city by city, state by state. You can't do better. You can't even acknowledge it.
Let's be clear. We found out, during COVID, that they can do something when it comes to the homeless situation, because they did. Because they found out, how to talk to different organizations, how to talk to different SROs, all that. So therefore, for them to say they can't do something, they're lying, because they truly did.
No doubt.
Got everyone off the streets, because that was the rule. Everybody be in the house. So if you were homeless, they put you in a space where we could actually have a space to be there. So this whole thing about they can't do nothing is a lie. In case y'all didn't know before. Except this whole alligator Alcatraz BS is shows you that they can build things when they want to, right? And like, again, we're now stuck in Iran. Like we were already stuck in doing stuff where it's not real. We were already stuck doing stuff for Russia, because they're best friends and stuff. So like we have zero, like we have no friends. Canada mad at us, Mexico mad at us, Australia's mad at us because there's one person, and they're like, we don't even know if we can trust you all because you made the decision to put this fool back in the office. So I'm just sitting there like, I get it. I can't. Like, what are we gonna do? Be scared every 4 years because you might have to go back to some other BS. I'm like, yeah, you have a point. You can't even be mad because they make a perfect point.
No, you're right. You're right. I mean, look, as we already shut down this Nexxlegacy live and give our shout outs and all that shit. I just really need people to just figure out what's real and what's fake. I need people out there to really recognize the way we're going right now as a society is never good, because we have situations, and I have my love-hate relationship with social media. I have my love-hate relationship when it comes to police and politics and govern and all that shit that comes with it. It's a necessary for sure, but the fact that we're in a situation right now where there's more people who are out for self than to trying to help the other people is crazy to me. But shout out to the ones who are really trying, the ones who really care about the people. I don't care who you voted for, whatever, who really and truly wants to pay it forward. I love y'all for the effort. I love y'all for trying. We need to be more like y'all. And we need to understand that at the end of the day, from his last administration to this one, what is it that you are benefiting from? Now, he's giving us energy today that's not good energy. He's given us this kind of energy before. But we have to figure out how we can be able to overcome it, regardless of who's there. Now, do what you want to do in 2026 with the primaries or the whatever. We still got to dig deep and go and figure out how we can be able to figure out living, period. And we have to figure out how we can be better for people too, so they can either be, one, inspired to do more or do better, or two, to literally get to the point where it's just like, you know what, I'm going to step back and I'm going to just go ahead and do the kind of research I need to do so we can all figure out something. Like, I just feel like it's now's the time. And I talk passionately about this because I have an adult child who's got to go through life after I'm gone and try to fit in this fucking world that we live in. I'm embarrassed for her. Like, I really and truly am, that we are here now and we have to do better. We have to figure out ways to do better and all that shit. So I just encourage everybody to just go and be journalists themselves. Go find the truth. Don't just go on Fox News and think that's real. Don't go to CNN and think that's real. Find other avenues and then form your own fucking opinion and figure out what it is that you want to articulate and get out there to the world. You may agree with everything Fox is saying. That fucking CNN. I don't. That's why I go somewhere else too. I look for other answers and then I form my own shit. I encourage y'all to do that. Like, come on. We are not dummies. I'm not just going to believe everything I see. There's too much AI and too much fake shit out there for me to just pour into like nothing. You know what I mean? So, then I give you shout outs. I'll do my final shit. And then I encourage y'all. subscribe to this. We're going to do more of this, but also I'm going to do more content that's just going to put people into perspective where we have to get more out there, because what we see right now ain't it ain't real. It ain't real. Denia, shout outs.
Definitely. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to all of our replay viewers. Shout out to everybody who has followed, liked, and subscribed to the Nexxlegacy page. The fact that y'all we've grown to 22,000, almost 23,000 subscribers just short amount of time just shows that y'all really do care about quality content. So, and shout out to all the members as well. Y'all are definitely doing the daggone thing for sure. And if you like the gear that Brandon has on, make sure y'all go ahead and check out the store and grab your own merch. I have mine as well. Then I have a Fearless collection. That's just the beginning, y'all, baby. That's just the beginning. But yeah, make sure you guys follow me all over social media at Denia Azure, DINAYAAZURE. And don't forget to subscribe to me. Shout out to my new subscribers. Love y'all. And go to the website, www.dinayaazure.com. If you missed any of that, Google Denia Azure, or go ahead and put Denia Azure in the chat GPT. Everything will pop up.
That's what's up. I wanna end this by just saying, you know what? Hey, I appreciate y'all, all the people, like the ones who will run this back, because we're over an hour and some odd minutes or whatever. But I just feel like, we go live, we get a chance to do something. I just think, people got to hear from us, because, there's a lot of different opinions out there that people have. And I know YouTube, and I'm just going to put it on Front Street, their algorithm is weird right now, but, hey, I still love y'all though. I do. So I just need y'all to really and truly understand that what we're trying to do right now is trying to give you all content with memorable moments, or things that I feel like is inspirational or informative, or both. And I think it's really true to form that when people really and truly look at what we're trying to do, we spent, I feel like I feel like we have, since we've come together with this opportunity, that we've spent a lot of time to cultivate our brand, but a lot of it is just our personal um appreciation for paying it forward. Um, we're not perfect people by no stretch of the imagination, and we're all flawed in life as human beings, because we are. But you know what? Our hearts are pure. We give more than we get. And I think that is a very, very important lesson to learn when it comes to certain things in life as far as what you do. So I just encourage people out there to just see the real and what's going on right now. I don't care who you voted for. I don't even care if you change your mind or if you're all in. All I want you to do is see the facts for yourself, come to the conclusion of people helping people. And if this is only something that you don't feel, you have no remorse, or you don't have any energy towards, then maybe you're selfish. And that's okay. That's you and how you want to live. But I just want you to be honest with yourself. I'm cool with that. But at the end of the day, I just care about paying it forward. And I would love to see other people in politics, entertainment, sports, you name it, to just pay it forward. Find ways where you can be able to do it without, for clicks or for likes or whatever the fuck. Because to me, at the end of it all we got is this mission right here that we're on. And I just think that it's important that we have to express that. So everything that you see on Nexxlegacy, subscribe, notifications on point. Please do, and please do some more. And I promise you, I'm just going to continue to give you stuff, be it if it's with Denia or if it's solo with me, giving you other different content and stuff like that. But I just need y'all to pass this on and just be like, you know what? Look, they had an honest conversation with the people just about stuff. And no scripts, no nothing, just real shit, just because I care. And I feel like we have to all figure out ways to find ways to utilize this for good. There's a lot of people out there who shouldn't have platforms. Just saying. Just saying. There's a
That's
lot.
a whole nother
I
topic. That's
wish.
a
I
whole nother.
wish. there's a committee where we can just go ahead and just be like, you know what? They're full
Oh,
of shit. They're
speaking of
full of
people that
shit.
can have platforms, Joe
They're
Rogan's too late. Joe Rogan, too late. Too late.
I'm just
Too late. Now
saying.
you
I'm
have
just
conclusion
saying.
that you
Like,
messed up is way too damn late, sir.
people gotta be real with it. Like, I'm just saying for the people, like, y'all just gotta be honest with the situation. And if y'all not, then whatever. But at any rate, Nexxlegacy, the new website is up. I'm still filling in different things as well in it. I just need y'all to really and truly just adapt to what we're trying to do for our own growth and to level up and to do more. Make sure you listen to the radio station. All you got to do is Google Nexxlegacy. The free app where you can listen to the radio station is available on iTunes and Android for your Google devices or whatnot. Um, the radio directory, if you do not have like one of those options, you can listen to it. There's hundreds of different locations where you can hear it, tune in, and different things. Shout out to Radio Online in the UK who are playing me respectfully with a lot of what the process is when it comes to that. Germany as well. We have so much action across the board. It is a beautiful thing to be a part of, and I need you to be part of the community. Denai and I are assembling a forum where we can come in, where people can have, if you're a business person, if you are an artist, if you are someone who wants to share communication and concept, I just want people to connect with people. Because I was telling Denia this before, like when we had forums back in the day, we were building relationships. I still have relationships to this day with a lot of people who I was in forums with back in like the late 90s or whatever. Shout out to Makeshift and Scarecrow and others who I met through forums. I met
I did
using
not know you
Denia.
got big shit to do the forum.
Yeah. I
Wow.
met I met them Denia through forums. And look, 20 years later, we're still cool. We still keep in touch. It's fam. I just need y'all to start building relationships, and that's what we're going to try to keep doing with this platform. So be a part of it, be part of a solution, and be supportive to each other, and that's it. Nexxlegacy hashtag, just keep it moving. Tell people about this program, and just be like, hey, I'll fuck with them. They cool, and go buy the merchandise too.
Yeah,
It's
go buy
worth
the
it.
merch.
Like, go
And,
do it.
and all of our members on YouTube, he's gonna be doing more content for y'all. I promise you. He's gonna be doing live streams for y'all, get Q&As, all that stuff. So
Not a
that's
problem.
coming.
Not a problem. Hey, listen, at the end of the day, this is, we're going to build on this. This is nothing. Like, I mean, but also I'm doing stuff for my YouTube members. There will be exclusive apparel for members only. Period. I'm talking about discounts and designs only for YouTube members. So I planted my house on YouTube. And I may dabble a little bit on Instagram or Blue Sky or some shit like that, but YouTube's my home. So YouTube, stop fucking with my algorithm.
That part.
Just saying.
Yes,
Stop.
and can we please get the YouTube live on regular desktops and computers?
Listen,
Jesus.
why do I have to be okay, YouTube? Why do I have to be on my phone to go live with another person on live? How come I can't do it on my desktop? YouTube, do better. Stop playing. But I love y'all though. I love y'all. And I don't know if y'all look, I'm not gonna go there. I'm not look. All right. Look at everything on my device, because I'm literally about an hour and 50 some odd minutes away from having another tier unlocked on my monetization. So maybe that's why the algorithm's fucking with me, because I'm this close. So stop playing, level up like we did, and let's go. Because I feel like I'm putting better content out and it'll get better. I'm working on something right now about Run DMC, Adidas, the executives, and them being the first Black artists to be able to ever have a shoe deal on that level. I'm working on a little documentary, not documentary, but something I'm gonna put on YouTube as far as my thoughts on it, along with video and shit like that. So saying that is to say, a lot of people didn't know that. that Run DMC opened the door for a lot of people when they did that song My Adidas, and how an Adidas exec was there in the crowd because they had 20,000 people, fans wearing Adidas with no shoestrings. So you know what? Adidas exec was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and give y'all $1 million contract so we can be able to lace this shit up. I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit about it when I do my little verbal documentary on that shit. It'll be like 8 minutes or whatever, but so it won't be long like this. But I'm just saying, reminding you guys, it's just like the Pepsi Coke wars or whatever. Like I threw something out there earlier that black folks had was super influential in some of the brands that you see today. I'm a black guy, so I gotta represent. You know what I mean? So saying that is to say, I appreciate it. Everything, subscribe, notify, all that stuff, and be a part of the community. And I appreciate Capricorn for tapping in and leaving her thoughts or his thoughts, whoever it is. I don't know if it's a male or a woman. So I appreciate your content and tapping in. And this is the start of more. So on behalf of Denia, myself, appreciate it. Till the next time.
Bye.